All right. One Piece chapter 1158. Let's get right into it. Rocks versus Herald. Okay, this would be interesting. Okay, we got Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 40. Here lies the Pirate of Justice. And then it says Kozuki Moria. Hmm. Does that mean, wait, does that mean that Gecko Moria is like related to the Kozuki clan somehow? That's interesting. Okay. And obviously we got Yamato, we got um one of the mob bosses, the Yakuza bosses, excuse me. And I think Kiku. Anyway, we're back in the flashback and on Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson, somewhere at sea. Captain Roger, word is that Shocky word is that Shocky opened up a bar on Pirate Island. It's getting really popular, apparently. Everyone seems to be obsessed with Shocky, you know what I mean? And it's like, partially, I understand it. There we go. I bet it's focusing on the background. There we go. All right. We were down bad. We were down bad when she stepped down as Empress, but yeah, y'all are down bad right now, actually. Now that we know where she is, let's drop by. Whoa, hold up. Isn't Pirate Island Rox's turf? Hey Rayleigh, I've noticed something. Ever since that chat you had with the captain in the captain's room, Roger's been kinda gloomy. And Rayleigh's like, erg. But he's it's clear that him and he's looking like how Zoro looks when he's having these altercations with Sanji, you know what I mean? So what did you two talk about? Nothing really. I wasn't planning, and then it's a little flashback. I wasn't planning on telling anyone, but guess I'll spill it to you, Roger. It's about that time we fought the Kuja pirates, before Shakuyaku quit being the Empress, right? She looked like she was struggling with some illness, and when I heard she stepped down, I got really worried about her health. You got that thing too, didn't you? Didn't even have to say it. Oh, it's the love sickness. It's gotta be, right? What else could that message be if not a love letter? That's funny. Come find me, Shakiyaku. You didn't even give a damn, did you, you bastard? Roger's sick because really he know how to do what he did. You know what I mean? Uh, but it's made the best man win at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's not exactly like that, but I just don't like feeling tied down. But I do, but I do want to. Okay, it's pretty funny seeing the interactions between Roger and Rayleigh, especially because of the way we're introduced to Rayleigh initially in the story, and seeing his relationship with Luffy, and seeing him and Roger basically be like the Luffy and Zoro of their time. You know what I mean? It's awesome. Even has a scar on his eye, you know what I mean? He low-key looks like Zoro here. Guys, I still haven't given up. Got it? Whoa, feeling better now, Roger? And Rayleigh's like laughing, smiling. After all, plundering is what makes a... Okay. This translation is not the best, I'm assuming, off the rip, even though it's the early one. We don't stop till we steal what we want. Am I wrong, guys? You're talking about Shocky, aren't you? So, who's the Shocky of this era? Is that going to be Bo Hancock? But I don't think that the current pirates care as much about who the pirate empress is or isn't right now. To be quite honest, shit, the Marines care more. Damn right. Also, she's on Roxas Island. Everyone gets a shot at this. Let's go get her. I'm starving. Make some food, Marks. It's ready. Dig in as much as you want. Okay. It's crazy. Yeah, Roger is basically Luffy. You know what I'm saying? With Ace's face. Fast forward a little. Holy Land Marijois, 40 years ago. Impatient, huh, Garland? The last tournament ended not too long ago. I feel like we're getting pretty close to God Valley now. Yes. While I was dealing with something else, I ended up staying on that island for a while. It was an unaffiliated country living by its own culture. I even tried to talk them into joining the world government. However, Divine Knight, House of Figureland, Saint Garling, Future Gorosei. Yeah, very far into the future. They wouldn't budge, but their resource. Oh, he's talking to the Gorosei right now in this flashback. That's crazy. They wouldn't budge. Their resources were rich and insanely valuable to us. On top of that, I stumbled across something incredible. They're like questioning whatever it is. A discovery way beyond anything I expected. Surely your excellency will be pleased. And he has this kind of, it's crazy. His face looks just like Shanks. It's kind of crazy. I strongly recommend the next tournament in 2 years be held at God Valley. So what did you find out here? You know what I'm saying? What is the discovery and the reason that it has to be at God Valley? Okay, meanwhile, at Shocky's rip-off bar. Stop cutting the line, you jerk. Huh? All that? I ain't got that kind of money. Then head to the back. You'll work it off for 2 years, free of charge. Damn, I'm trying to think who she reminds me of in the current story. Well, it's really herself, to be quite honest. She's just older. She still has the same personality. But, kind of Nami, I guess. I came all the way from, she's like Nami and Bo Hancock in one person. I came all the way from North Blue. This is where the good whiskey is at, right? And I also heard your stew's the best, Shocky. How sweet, thanks. I love hearing that. But I'd never cook for you lot. She's literally like Nami's kind of, you know, money bags under on the eyes, and then or dollar signs, excuse me. Dollar sign eyes mixed with Bo Hancock's just not giving a fuck about anybody besides Rayleigh in this case, Luffy in her case. Anyway, she's exactly how I imagined. Here's my special stewed beans, Shocky. Oh, and the whiskey's gone. Just pour this creep some rum. Here you go. Here's your luxury whiskey. That's funny. Cheers to crappy service. Oh, look who it is. What's up, Rox? You're looking all smug, but I can tell those feelings aren't for me. How sad. He goes, huh? Freaking Big Mom. Mama. Creepy, huh? That's so-called women's intuition. Shut it. That's classified info. It's funny because they do still act like a crew, even though early on in our first time hearing about the Rocks Pirates and whatnot, a year or two ago, maybe 2 years ago at this point, maybe longer. Um, it's funny because it was kind of assumed that it was just people with big personalities that didn't really get along at all. They just kind of were like allied at the end of the day under rocks. But they really do be acting like a crew. So um, I'm glad that they are that way, even with the dynamic that they have. You know what I mean? What's going on? Are you blind? Whitebeard asks what's going on, and Ms. Bakken asks him if he's blind. It's obvious he's grinning like that because he snagged a woman and even got himself a kid. Who's he talking about? I mean, is she talking about she's talking about rocks? It's obvious he's grinning like that because he snagged a woman and even got himself a kid. Okay. I don't know if that's a translation thing or 40 years ago. No, that's Blackbeard. Wow. Who's Blackbeard's mom? Anyway, Shocky, I'm here. And is Roger busting through the door? Oh, and all the Rocks Pirates are in love. Again, Shocky's amazing because she does not have the Mare Marinomi. She's just, that. She's just that. It's the Roger Pirates. Snap some pictures. Roger. And him and Rocks are button heads. Roger, how many times do I have to say this is my island? This is Shocky's bar. No fights between customers, got it? So shut up, you damn porcupine. That's pretty funny. And this dynamic is kind of like Luffy and Blackbeard, I guess. You know what I'm saying? When you think about it, they do kind of butt heads, but I think Luffy just genuinely doesn't like Blackbeard and never did. But it is kind of weird seeing this kind of face off because Roger literally has Ace's face, Rocks literally has Blackbeard's face. There's a crazy line outside. You cut in, didn't you? How'd you even get in here? There was no line. Come on, let's drink, everyone. Because they beat up everybody that was outside. So noisy. I can't deal with this. This is Whitebeard. Newgate, the tab. Put it on Rocks. He just walks out and says Rocks will pay for it. That's hilarious, yeah. Roger, where's Rayson? I even told him to come, you know, but looks like he's not feeling well, sleeping it off on the ship. And then freaking Gloriosa jumps Roger. Roger, it's you. I missed you so much. Tonight's the night you're letting me aboard your ship, right? Oh, Gloriosa. I told you no. Like, I'd let a love struck woman like you on board. Damn, yeah. This is quite the love quadrilateral that they got going on here. Of course, Shaki's different. What kind of logic is that? I wouldn't mind either. She wants to join his shit, but not because of Roger. And Roger looking jealous, yeah. Come on, man. Just it's okay, man. Get your own bitch. But anyway, hey, is Newgate around? I want to drink with him. He just left. Why didn't Rayleigh come? That bastard. Being a it's crazy also just seeing Roger interact with these legendary pirates. Like it's just, hey, what's going on? We just all at the bar together. It's kind of crazy. I can't lie. This man, is this the best flashback in One Piece? I don't know. I think we about to find out soon, to be honest. All right. So anyway, we got some more of the narrator talking. By Shaku Yaku's rules, as long as you came to this island for the bar, any fighting was forbidden. So even when powerful pirates cross paths here, that's crazy because this is literally Pirate Island. You know what I'm saying? And because of Shaki being there, she really made it where everybody kind of had to have that parlay. You know what I'm saying? Like how if you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean, that was a real thing that pirates actually did. And this is basically like them having a parlay, and it's kind of like a truce for a period of time or whatever. But anyway, it never turned out into it never turned into a real conflict. But out at sea, tensions were always on the verge of erupting. On the verge of erupting. I bet. And it's a picture of Rocks looking like her, and it's a picture of Roger looking like her. First time we've seen them serious in this entire chapter. Okay, so still flashback, but Underworld Elbaf. Okay. Loki's holding on for dear life like this, but then he flies away because the tree is getting blown away. It's all the animals, the giant animals, they scared, they running off. Hajrudin is looking like, what the heck? And then it's Harold and Rocks clashing, big clashing. Yo, and they evenly matched. I don't know. Yo, Harold might be next level, to be honest. And Loki's his son. Loki for Straw Hat, yeah. I feel like it doesn't need to be said, yeah. It don't need to be said. This is one of the most like thorough backstories that leads into a player leads into a character that we're gonna have for the rest of the arc, and then potentially into further arcs, probably into further arcs because they're doing a lot with this character and having it being intertwined with a lot of stuff that's gonna be going forward, like Shanks and even Roger and uh even Roger and Rocks, mainly Rocks, not really Roger so much, but yeah, all of that. To be quite honest, I feel like Loki has to join, but I also felt like Yamato had to join because they kind of went the extra mile in Wano, but they're going the extra mile when it comes to Loki right now. Anyway, Harold, you bastard, you let the government manipulate you. Yeah, I wavered. And you really think you need to kill your friend just to reach your goal? Wow, that's crazy. In the end, you just bowed your head to them. You're being used, idiot. I can't believe Harold really is going along with them saying that he had to kill rocks. That's actually pretty crazy. That's their answer. To them, you giants are nothing but a military force. They'll enslave you and turn you into mere soldiers. I kind of gotta agree with Rocks on this. They actually literally did do that, and are still trying to do it right now. Where's your pride as a warrior? Where's your will? It's hard. It's crazy because we're supposed to be looking at Rocks like this villain, but he's really like this Super Saiyan revolutionary type of character that just is like, I don't care. I'm badass. I'm doing what the fuck I want to do. It's yo, he's a top 5 character in the story, like type shit. Quit acting like you know it all. If not the best character in One Piece, like we're getting hyperbolic now, but because Luffy exists. The violent past of these so-called warriors has now become the shackles that keep Elbaf from reaching peace. We know you're a good man, Harold, but long ago this country was attacked by giants. And Harold is just looking like, as he's remembering all these things that were told to him. And fear is something you can't erase. You can't erase so easily, I'm assuming. Sorry. You know, Rocks, no matter how foolish the celestial dragons are, in the end, they're the ones who hold the authority to bring Elbaf into the circle of this world. Stop it. You spineless coward. And he did the Elbaf spear? Is that what that is? It looks like it, but maybe not. The negotiations are over. I'll never invite you again. I feel like Rox is hurt, you know what I'm saying? Because Harold was really his buddy for real. I am the king. You think I'd risk the lives of my people on the losing war of a wretch like you? This is crazy, yo. It's like you want to side with Harold, but at the same time, Rox is being a real nigga with him. I can't even lie. He's keeping it. He's keeping it all 1,000. With no conclusion, this strange friendship was cut short, and for the time being, the two never met again. Until the day of that incident. And we got Loki here, and he's reading something. He's reading the paper. Another headline about rocks, and he's like obsessed with rocks. You know what I'm saying? It's awesome. I really want to see Loki and Kaido interact. To be honest, so I kind of hope that Kaido comes back into the story. Kaido, Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? Any of these characters that are still hanging around somehow. Because I feel like at least one more member of the Rocks Pirates we're gonna see into the future of the story. Into the future of the story, you know what I'm saying? It can't just all be everybody's dead or out of the story when we're finally like learning more about them. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, even though Rocks is probably still living inside a Blackbeard or some shit like that. But continuing on. Rocks isn't coming, Loki. Shut it, old hag. Want some juice? Yeah. 39 years ago, West Blue. And we're at God Valley now? They look, they're twins. So adorable. And they've got your red hair too. Yes. Let's hope they grow up wise like you. Since their dada isn't around, we'll be here to help you. Got it? Thank you, Uncle. Are we about to see Shanks' mom? And their names, what'll they be called? Shanks and Shamrock. Oh, wow. We get to see the brothers, but we don't get to see the mom. Her head is covered by a freaking what's the word? Speech bubble. Yo, that's crazy. Do you think that the mom? Well, this is a silly question. I was gonna say, do you think that the mom looks like a character that we know, and that character is gonna somehow be related to Shanks and Shamrock? But if we really think about it, if we really think about it, 99% of the women in One Piece look like Nami. So that's just kind of a silly thing to say in general. But for some reason, I feel like she's gonna look like um I don't know. I wanted to say Porcus de Rouge, but at the same time, now that I think about it, she looked like how Ace looked pre-time skip, and Roger just looks like Ace since they Oda basically redesigned him. So you know what I'm saying. But for some reason, I feel like there's no reason for them to cover what her face looks like, unless he just wants it to be is a reveal in and of itself. But that tells me that she probably looks like somebody. But I'm like, who could she like look like when all the female characters look like Nami? You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, obviously, because you know Big Mom exists. But this was such a great chapter to come back to after this long break. It felt like this break was longer than usual, but if it wasn't, maybe it wasn't. But you know, it not just being like Harold and Rox just fighting just to fight or whatever. It's more of like a battle of ideals and beliefs and whatnot. And it's crazy how much Harold has changed in just these like few chapters since we first met him at the beginning of this. Well, not at the beginning of this flashback, I guess early into the arc. And what we thought of him at that point with Loki and Harold and Osruden kind of make you believe their dad to be, what the legends of Elbaf kind of make you believe their dad to be. And then seeing who he started off as and who he even is at this point with his clash with Rox and him becoming that leader for Elbaf and trying to bring them forward no matter what, regardless of if it ruins his relationship or even he has to kill Rox at the end of the day. Also, he's strong as hell to be able to do this, to be evenly clashing with arguably the strongest pirate ever. Man, does this mean that Loki could hit a switcheroo really and end up with Blackbeard? Man, that's something I have to ponder real quick because Luffy is not Rox's, nowadays equivalent at the end of the day. And Loki was obsessed with Rox. And let's say hypothetically that Rox does exist within Blackbeard in some form or fashion. Loki's gonna want to be with him because that's who he looked up to and looked forward to finally joining his crew for his entire life, it seems like, since that first meeting. So yeah. I want Loki to join the Straw Hats, but him joining the Blackbeard Pirates makes a lot of sense now that I'm really thinking about it. This is a great chapter though, man. Saint Garling, I'm really interested in his character, and I'm curious to see the role he's going to play, not only in the God Valley part of the flashback, but also in the current story. Now that he's like the new Gorosei, and he's like the odd man out in that group. Yeah, man. One Piece has just only gotten more and more interesting over the last few years. Ever since Wano ended, even though the end of Wando, the end of Wano was super hype and whatnot, but as far as the story itself is concerned, it's just been flowing so much more smoothly and everything coming together finally for the final saga of One Piece. That being said, let me know your thoughts on all of this. Man, I'm so glad there's no break because I'm just ready for the story to keep going. Also, Kozuki Moria. Anyway, like the video, subscribe, and have a good day.